Toy Story is definitely the best among the classic animated movie franchises. But did you know that besides leaving a mark on the childhoods of multiple generations, Woody and Buzz's movies also brought us countless characters full of mysteries? Emily. And one of those people who is at the center of various theories in the Pixar universe is definitely Emily, Jesse's original owner. We know that at some point in the very distant past, around the 1950s, both Jesse and Woody, along with Bullseye, were very famous toys created and inspired by a kids' Western TV show. And if Emily was a child who lived during that era, there is a chance the girl could have been Jesse's owner over 70 years ago, which means she might still be alive, although she would be an elderly woman who perhaps lives in a retirement home, or maybe she wouldn't even be with us anymore. The truth is, all of this is one massive mystery, which makes Emily one of the most enigmatic characters in the entire Toy Story franchise. Even more so after we found out that Lilypad sent Jessie to the old farm address, where the cowgirl used to live with her original owner, which might indicate that perhaps Blaze, Jessie's future new owner, could be the granddaughter or niece of the original Emily. Get ready, because we are just getting started and we are about to absolutely blow your mind. Sid Phillips. Without a doubt, two of the most memorable, and after all these years, mysterious characters in Toy Story are Sid and Scud, the toy-destroying duo that wreaked havoc and terrorized the house right next door to Andy's. And if you watched the first movie in the franchise, you know that at a certain point, Woody and Buzz end up in the creepy kid's house, but they actually end up pulling a prank on the boy, who gets completely freaked out and runs away in absolute desperation. He definitely still talks to his therapist about that to this very day. And that is exactly where the mystery lies. Where in the world is the franchise's very first villain right now? Could he be the garbage truck driver who traps Lotso on the front grille of his vehicle? Or worse, does he still tell people to this day that toys tried to end him? Who knows? Maybe he'll even show up as a villain in one of the upcoming movies, completely determined to expose the toys to the whole world so he can finally stop being called crazy. The Bensons. Now let's talk about the terrifying henchmen of Gabby Gabby, the big villain from Toy Story 4. This group of ventriloquist dummies is a massive question mark in the franchise's lore, seeing as almost all the toys in the franchise, no matter how weird they might be, have their own personalities and know how to talk. However, the Bensons, besides acting in a practically robotic manner, don't make a single sound other than the mechanical squeaking and clicking of their joints, which makes them even more terrifying. The big mystery surrounding this is, do all ventriloquist dummies lack the ability to speak, or is it just the Bensons? Besides that, they seem to operate as a hive mind at the villain's service, which raises the question, do these henchmen have a soul and an individual consciousness, or are they just empty shells? What do you think? The monkey. Still on the topic of completely terrifying and very mysterious characters, we can't forget to mention the monkey, that cymbal-banging toy from Toy Story 3 who is a loyal servant to Lotso in his mission to take down Woody and his friends. We don't know anything about his past, who his owner was, or exactly how he ended up at Sunnyside Daycare, but we do know that as soon as Woody and his friends arrive at the place where Lotso rules as a tyrant, he is the toy that Bonnie is holding and playing with, leaving up in the air the possibility that, at the time, he was one of the favorite toys of the future owner of Woody and his gang. However, the real mystery is how a toy whose main focus is crashing symbols together turned into a night watchman so obsessed with the security camera system, acting with such frightening loyalty to Lotso's regime? Andy's dad. Without a doubt, when talking about mysterious characters in Toy Story, it is impossible not to mention Andy's dad. Why? You might be asking yourself. Simple. The guy has literally never appeared in any of the movies in the franchise. We know that neither Andy nor his sister Molly were hatched from an egg, so they obviously have their mom and presumably the same dad. However, if we stop to think about it, there are absolutely no pictures of him in either the family's first or second house, which makes his identity a massive mystery. The worst part is that this total absence sparks countless theories, ranging from a messy divorce all the way to the man passing away before the very first movie. If he really isn't alive anymore, it would be normal not to see recent pictures of him with his kids. But why aren't there any photos of baby Andy with his dad? After all, the age gap between Andy and Molly is around 7 years. So at least during that period of the boy's life, his father was alive. So much so that he and his wife had their second daughter. It's all just a huge mystery. Whatever happened to him, we can safely say he is without a doubt one of the biggest mysteries in Pixar history. If you made it this far, do the following. Click the subscribe button. I think we deserve it. Dragon. It isn't just toys and humans that are mysterious in the Toy Story franchise. We also have the mysteries involving animals and their relationships with toys that have a life of their own. And in that sense, the most enigmatic of all the domestic pets ever seen in the franchise is definitely Dragon, the cat belonging to the owner of the antique store, where Woody and Forky end up in Toy Story 4. The presence of this feline with a killer instinct raises a mystery about the intelligence and awareness of animals in the Toy Story universe. Unlike Andy's dog Buster from Toy Story 2, who was sweet and trained by Woody, Dragon seems to be fully aware that the toys are alive and acts like a relentless predator. So, seeing this bizarre behavior leaves us wondering, do Pixar animals know the secret of the toys the entire time and just decide to keep it to themselves? Moving on to mysterious characters from the second movie, we have the famous second Buzz Lightyear who trapped Andy's Buzz in a toy box and left him at Al's toy barn with the Chicken Man. But right before the fight begins, we see that our Buzz analyzes this new version of himself, and the guy doesn't even blink. However, when he threatens to touch his new utility belt, the second Buzz simply reacts and overpowers the first Space Ranger of Toy Story. So the lingering mystery is, was he conscious the whole time, or did he only come to life when the first Buzz approached him? On top of all that, at the end of the movie, it's revealed that Zurg, his greatest enemy, was actually his father too. And despite the invitation from the members of Woody's gang, he says he's going to stay behind to play catch with his dad and make up for lost time. And after that, he was never seen again. In fact, many believe that he is one of the members of the Buzz Lightyear army that we will see in Toy Story 5, perhaps even serving as their leader who will come to Woody's rescue alongside the original Buzz. Which actually makes perfect sense, since he lived in a store surrounded by dozens of boxed Buzz figures that make up a literal army. However, exactly what he did over all this time and where his father, Zurg, is right now are complete mysteries. Daisy's parents. Now let's go back to talking about parents, and yes, in the plural. In Toy Story 3, we meet Lotso and learn about his dark past that drove him to decide to be the cold-hearted villain we know today. And Daisy was the owner of the strawberry-scented bear, as well as Chuckles and Big Baby. However, as we see in the story, the girl falls asleep out in the country, and her parents put her in the car, leaving all three toys behind in a very suspicious manner. Forgetting one toy is fine, it's acceptable, but all three of your daughter's favorite toys at once? That just doesn't make sense. It almost looks like they did it on purpose, as if they knew those toys actually had the ability to come to life. And a fact that backs this up is that when the three toys led by Lotso finally managed to make it back to Daisy's house, we see that her parents had only bought a second Lotso, but they didn't buy anything to replace Chuckles or Big Baby, which could indicate that they only did this because Daisy was probably devastated by losing the three of them, and to smooth things over, they decided to at least give her a brand new Lotso. But honestly, all of this is a massive mystery, and it's highly unlikely we will ever know the real reason behind this strange behavior from Daisy's parents. Jerry. Do you remember that nice old man who was responsible for restoring Woody in the second Toy Story movie? Yeah, well, a lot of people have no idea, but he actually has a name that was revealed long before Toy Story 2. His name is Jerry. He is the exact same old man from the short film Jerry's Game, where he plays chess against himself, even faking a heart attack just to win against himself. And it was probably this bizarre habit of restoring antique toys like Woody that led him to develop such meticulous, almost magical skills, turning him into a restorer who charges small fortunes for his services, according to the Chicken Man, one of the villains of Toy Story 2, alongside Stinky Pete. But what remains up in the air is Jerry's past with toys. Could it be that, at the peak of his experience, he actually knows that toys can have a life of their own? After painting the bottom of our cowboy's boot and sewing his arm back on, Jerry was never seen again, whether in Toy Story or in any other Pixar animation, making him an enormous mystery. If we consider that he is extremely old and that roughly 10 to 12 years have passed since the moment he fixed Woody. And sadly, elderly people theoretically have less time left than adults and children. So, it wouldn't be completely out of the question to say that the mystery surrounding Jerry might very well end in a cemetery. Mr. Phillips. Going back to the first movie now, and returning to the terrifying house of the villain Sid, at a certain point we see that Sid, just like Andy, has a younger sister. However, in a scene where Buzz is running away from Scud, he walks into a room and there we find Mr. Phillips, the father of the two kids, sitting in a recliner completely surrounded by empty cans that look like soda, but aren't, if you catch my drift. He is in a deep sleep with the television on, so much so that he doesn't even notice Buzz getting right up close to the TV. Regarding this mysterious character whose face we don't even get to see, the question lingers about what kind of upbringing he provided for Sid, considering the boy was an absolute psychopath who took pleasure in destroying toys or leaving them with terrifying, Frankenstein-worthy appearances. If you want more videos like this, comment down below. More. We're leaving 2 really cool videos for you to stay with us here on the channel. Click and have fun. Thanks.